Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I hope you all are doing well. We are going to do our lecture number 22 today. We are reading currently unit number 3 and its title is Duty and Responsibility. The reading section that I am going to discuss with you people today is Linguan Gorge. A man should never leave his post. So, as I told you earlier, that in every section we are going to have 2 prose and 1 poem. So this prose, this is particularly related to short story. So before going towards reading the formal reading of this text, I would like you people to just come up with the idea that what is a short story. A short story is a work of prose, fiction, that can be read in one sitting, usually between 20 minutes to an hour. There is no maximum length, but the average short story is 1000 to 7500 words, with some outliners reaching 10,000 to 15,000 words. So basically, a short story is a piece of writing that is going to have some moral obligation at the end of it, and it consists of only, you can say, 1000 to 7500 words, or maybe it's going to exceed from this limit and it's going to have 15,000 words. So these 15,000 words consisting a piece of short writing is known as a short story. So this short story has got different elements which are important to be highlighted in every short story. So there are for example, there are different ethics of writing every kind of literature, every piece of literature, whether it is going to be an essay, whether it's going to be a novel, whether it's going to be a poem. There are certain rules and regulations, or we can say that there are certain important components that are going to make it as a short story, or it's going to be a novel, or it's going to be a novella. So there are particular elements, important components, constituents that are necessary for these kind of literary writings. So when we are talking about a short story, there are few important things that must be there, or we can say that when we are trying to write a short story, these are some of the important components that we should include in our short story. The first one is the setting. Now, what does setting means? Setting is related to the time and place. For example, it's going to be it's like related to both the time, in a sense we are going to talk about morning, evening, daytime, midnight, these timing, and also the season, like it's autumn, summer, spring, winter. So we are also somehow we are supposed to highlight those things in setting also. Then we are talking about place. By place, I mean to say whether it's school, whether it's home, whether it's outside in a park, in a garden, in a shopping mall, in whatever you are trying to portray in your short story, in mountains, in green areas, that is going to be the place of the story. So the setting consists of these two important things, that is going to be the time and place. Then we are going to have characters. For a story, remember one thing, that characters are the important units or important parts of the story, because without characters you cannot proceed further what you are trying to portray to the people. So characters are also important. Then we have got plot. Plot is simply, you can see, the timeline of the story, how this story is going to start, which means exposition. We are going to expose the story to our readers. Like the readers, they are going to look at this story, how this story started, from which part, which area, who are the initial characters they are going to talk, then how many characters are going to be there in when the story moves further, then how there is a, you can say that after exposition there is rising point. Rising point means that how the story proceeds. then there is going to be a, you can say, conflict in a sense that there might be a part where the readers, they are going to have a high level of emotional attachment with this story. Now for example, let's suppose if you are going to read a love story, and initially you are going to be exposed with the girl and boy, then the story proceeds further. The girl and boy, they got attached to each other. When there is going to be the climax, like the conflict, the point where the where the readers, they are going to get attached to the characters, I would like to say that I'm not going to use the literary terms here. I'm just trying to make you understand, because you are not the students of literature, so you don't need to go towards the technicalities. I just want to make it clear with in simple words. So when the girl and boy, they want they want to get married, there is a conflict, there is a rising point that comes there, and we are like, the story turns it's a normal story. We used to see that whether the boy is from poor family or the girl is from poor family, so it's going to make a twist in the story. This point is called as the climax, because it's the peak level of the story where the readers, they are like now in a, you can say, in a twist, that they are trying to now lower their this confusion, that whether this story is going to turn down, whether the two lovers, they are going to get together, whether they will be able to get married. So this is the climax, the peak level of the point where the readers are also attached to the story. So then we are going to call it as denouement, where the rising point, or we can say where the peak points come towards the end, and then we are going to simply end it. So the plot line, that is going to be exposition, rising point, conflict, then climax, then denouement, and then the end. Okay, now every short story, it's going to have a theme. Now every piece of writing that is existing in this world, it's going to have some moral at the end of it. But it is very important for a short story to have a central theme. Central theme means that a short story will consist of one moral obligation, one moral idea, one, you can say, lesson for the readers, and it will somehow roam around that central theme, which means the whole story from the beginning till the end, it will be related to the main idea, the central idea of the story. Okay, then the use of literary devices. You might all know about literary devices, or we are going to call them as figure of speech. So the figures of speech, they are different in number, like simile, metaphor, and onomatopoeia, and different kinds of literary figures are over there, which we are going to use them in our practical life, in essay, and in some other piece of writing. But for short story, it is somehow important that you should try to come up at least with 2 or 3 literary devices. Okay, now come towards your this reading section, that is Lincoln Gorge, a man should never leave his post. Now every piece of writing, especially when it is related to fiction, we are most of the time we are going to have a known writer. Known writer means that we are well aware about the writer, who is the writer of that certain story, certain poem, novel, fiction, any other thing. So we are well aware of the writer. So the writer of this novel is Tu Peng Cheng, who has written this short story, and its title is Lincoln Gorge. Now, before proceeding towards the formal reading of the text, I would first of all like to introduce who is Tu Peng Cheng. Now, Tu Peng Cheng is the writer of this short story, Lincoln Gorge. Okay, this picture is from your book. You can consult your book for reading. After growing up in a poor family in the province of Shenxi, also spelled as Shenzi. Tu Pengchen, born 1921, worked as the correspondent of the New China News during China's civil war in the late 1940s. His many notes about battle he witnessed became important source for his later fiction, including his acclaimed war novel Defend Yan'an, published in 1954. So basically, initially he was belonging to a very poor family, and he witnessed the China civil war that was going in 1940s. And as you all know, civil war means that when people they were struggling for their basic rights, we can say. So it's the war he witnessed himself, and the war he later on he got the, you can say, idea, he got the influence from these wars which he witnessed through his eyes. He witnessed them practically, so he was having the influence of that thing in his writing. Winning praise throughout China for his depiction of military life, Tu enjoyed a flourishing career throughout 1950s. In 1958, he published his next major novel, In Peacetime, which describes workers constructing the Baotu Chengdu, which is also known as Baoji to Chengdu Railway. Now, your short story, Linquan Gorge, that is also related to this particular, you can say, railway track. It is particularly related to the construction of this Baoji to Chengdu railway, which was constructed back in 1958, which started it's like the construction of this railway started back in 1958, and it was the first electric railway that was going to connect the northwest China to the southwest of China. So Tu fell from favor in 1960s when the government rewrote its history and condemned several former leaders who Tu had praised in his fiction. So obviously when the government is going to change, it's also going to have some different changes in the rules and regulations. So when they change the government, they somehow portrayed the history in a different way. Like the leaders, those were praised, they were now used or they were remembered as a notorious person. So that is why Tu's the writing, they were banned. His work was banned in China until 1978, when a thaw in the nation's totalitarian regime allowed Tu to resume his writing career. Now totalitarian means that it's similar to dictatorship, when the people want to control the whole total control of the area. We are going to call it as totalitarian government or totalitarian regime. So after the change in the scenario, then Tu was allowed to write and he resumed his career. That was the introduction of short story and the writer. We will continue in the next lecture with the reading section 3.2. Thank you so much.